Hey everybody, it's Kairos doing a VOD review today for a gold 4 Nidalee in the jungle. So we'll just go over this gameplay real quick and address it to who it's going towards. So looking right here, something that I noticed right off the bat is that your team is really playing for picks. So Rengar Ultimate, your damage, Brand damage, Blitzcrank, Caitlyn, they are all really thriving getting picks. So catching people out of position, isolating individuals from the team, and just bursting them, and then playing 4v5. The enemy team has a really strong 5v5, and they're actually pretty good at negating what you want to do. So they have the Zillion Ultimate to revive anybody you pick. They have Nocturne to follow up on any picks. It's pretty hard to get on top of an Ezreal. He's pretty dodgy. Viger has a lot of zone control, and also they have double teleport, and you have no teleport. So they have double TP advantage. Basically, what that tells me is you guys need to snowball and then get vision control to set up your picks so that they can't react to them. So if this goes into the late game, they also have the scaling advantage with the Vigar and the Camille scale really well. And so if this goes into the late game, you're going to have a really hard time team fighting. So think of how you can snowball to gain map control so that you can set up picks and get objectives through that to win before 30 minutes. That's what you should be thinking in this game. So for first path, I would try to go from bottom up to top and maybe gank the Camille using the Rengar Ignite to try and secure that early so that she has a harder time TPing. And so that he can keep her in the lane even though she has TP. So right here, you don't have anybody to back you up. So instead of placing the ward where you do right here, I always prefer to place the ward on the buff because this doesn't tell you if he stays. He can still walk through the left side right here, and you don't know if he's staying. You don't know if he left. It's just really uncertain. So whenever you're suspicious of an evade, always ward on the buff so that you'll see if they start it and you can react like that. Because right here, this doesn't give you any information at all, honestly. And it ends up costing Brand his life because he walks over to ward it because your ward wasn't in a good spot. And then he's going to be forced to flash. So they collapse on him. He gets the ward, but that's where you should have warded in the first place. And then your reaction here is really good. So Brand unfortunately has a tougher lane now, but you take the red buff and then you jump over to his blue buff. So this is really good, starting the vertical jungling. Ideally, you would have placed this ward, and so Brand would have been in lane, and he wouldn't be at the disadvantage that he's at right now, because Vigar ends up roaming over and contesting you, which he wouldn't be able to roam over if he didn't get a level lead here in a second. He wouldn't be able to leave the XP there. But he gets the advantage, he gets priority, and he can just walk over. Rengar shouldn't do this. He should just stay in lane and get XP. He shouldn't defend your jungle. It's just gone. Okay, so good counter jungling. Then Vigar walks over. Just make sure that you have your dash available so that you can get out. That's unfortunate that he gets that. I'd save smite. I don't remember if he used it earlier, but save smite for just in case something like that happens. Okay, and then this is good so far. The next note I have is at 4:30-ish. Okay, so scuttles are coming up. Right here, you see the Nocturne coming down on this ward. So my idea, he died earlier, so you actually got a kill down here. He went back to base, and now he's coming back out onto the map. You don't have priority in top lane. You don't have priority in mid lane. So your thought process should be, I want to kill this as fast as I can and get out of there because this is not safe. You haven't backed yet. He has an advantage. So you might have a kill, but you're down in farm. You're the same level, but he has items. So I would wait for get the smite charge up, push it towards top, kill it here, and then jump over the wall. So instead of using your abilities on the Nocturne, use it on the Scuttle Crab, smite it, jump over the wall, get out of there. And this will be important as we see coming up. So you opt into the fight instead. Vigar, if he was here, he would have priority. Also, if he had TP, he could just join right now. Well, he has TP, so if he had a ward, he could just join this right now. So this is very risky to take, and he would beat Brand there. And Camille also has first move advantage, so you lose this 3v3 based on their priority. Okay. So you flash out, he follows, ends up being really close. But this wouldn't have happened. And if Vigar's here, if he like TP'd it a little bit earlier, then Bran dies too, and it's a 2-for-1 in the other direction. And then it would be pretty bad for you because he would get this Scuttle and he could go invade your top side. I would push it up here, smite, steal it, jump over, and then farm the rest of your camps down towards the bot side in relative safety, just to start getting some gold, getting some levels on you. Okay, let's see. There's some more fighting in here. The result of all this, that you're contesting this, you're still level 3. So Vigar's level 6 because he comes in right here and he has his ultimate. So if you had kind of taken the alternate route, this would have been this wouldn't have happened. First of all, because you wouldn't have been contesting the Scuttle Crab, and also you'd be level 4. It would have been just much better, and I think you would have a lot of more momentum right now. Okay, so coming out onto the map, you're farming up a little bit. I really like what you're doing here. I don't know if you're doing this on purpose, but your bot lane is pushed up. And so this says to you, Nocturne has a really easy gank path right here. If he pops over this cone, they're in a bad position. So I like that you're pulling the Krugs up so that you can react to that gank faster with a counter gank. So that's really good kiting of your camps to just maintain proximity and be close. Okay, and then right here, your bot lane is backing. And so you know that they're safe. And then you figure that they are coming down to take this, and you see him on it. And this is the right decision to just run. Your bot lane isn't here. Your mid laner just got back to lane. So switching sides of the map is the right call, 100%. Right about now is a pretty big swing. So you're channeling back, and then you see the Nocturne ultimate. I would wait. So cancel your back to see where it is, because if it's bot side, which it is, that means he's giving up Rift Herald control. And actually, you know it's bot side because he was just taking the Drake. So assume that it's bot side, cancel your back, and come here. Because even if you channel your back and you walk out here, there's nothing really for you to do. You have one camp up. There's no Drake. There's no Scuttle Crab. Your bot lane wants to back. They want to get out of there, and they're going to be low health. And so there's really nothing you can do on this side of the map. But if you reacted with that and come up and take the Rift Herald, let's say you just now started it, might take you like, I don't know, 15, 20 seconds to take. We'll see what you could have done with the Rift Herald. So I think you probably could have finished the Rift Herald right about now. And you could have looked for a gank on top lane, but then you see that Bran gets the solo kill. So you walk back over to mid lane. You help him push in this wave. Then you drop the Rift Herald. You would get at least 3 plates. That's at least 360 gold split between you two. But more importantly than getting the gold is you get closer to having map control for the next Drake. So the sooner that you can get this turret down, you can start pressuring the side lanes and start getting vision in the enemy's jungle. If this is down, you gain a lot of map pressure and a lot of map control. But instead, you're just farming. But if you got in the Herald, take it mid after the solo kill, drop it mid. Then honestly, you would have the pressure to do this invade much easier. This tower would be only 2 plates left, and you could capitalize on that later. So this invade, it's good and bad. It's risky because Vigar's coming back up. You see Nocturne's back on the map, but you know he doesn't have ultimate. But Camille has priority up here. That's what I'm most concerned about. So if the brand didn't follow you on this invade, I wouldn't do it. So it's pretty risky. So if brand didn't follow, I wouldn't do it. But it's good that you're looking for ways to pressure as much as possible. So you get the 1 pick here, and this is exactly how you should be playing. You should be playing for picks and then convert that into map control, which is what you're doing right here. So you're getting it right part of the time. And then I was really surprised on this that you lived, honestly. Okay, and then here, just take the berries. Just take the honey fruit and then take the herald. A lot of people in silver, gold, bronze won't solo the Rift Herald. Like you can do it. Take those two, and then you could have soloed the Rift Herald. Um, it's just a lot of gold and a lot of map pressure that you convert. So we see a pretty big swing here. There's 5 plates over here, and there's like 2 and a little bit of a plate here. So that's a really big swing for Vigar. And now he's ahead by 200 gold, even though Brand just solo killed him. You could have accelerated that lane a lot faster, but it seems like you're prioritizing farm a little bit too much when there are other options. So now you know that Nocturne is on this, and so you're collapsing on a 3v3. It's a little bit risky, but you have to take the risk because you're an early game comp. Like you need to push your lead. Okay, so that's good. This is a good job of avoiding the cage. Really nice. If he had ult, he might have been able to kill you. And then your teammates collapse. That's really solid. And then now, what you want to do is use this advantage. So channeling back here, like you might have a lot of gold, but even if you have a lot of gold, this is not the time to back. You just aced the top half of their map, and the 2 bot laners are showing. So use that pressure. Help shove in the mid wave, take this turret. You could take this camp and then channel your back. Like the Drake is coming up, but the early Drakes aren't super important. I'd put higher priority on getting map control in this situation. So shove mid, get some plates, help this brand out. And if you had Rift Herald here, they wouldn't have taken it, and you could have used it here and gotten the full turret at this point. So that's a little bit of a bummer. So you see that this Drake is going on. Almost got the smite steal. Get the solo kill here. So yeah, the Drakes are starting to pile up, but this wouldn't be that important. I mean, the second one, it's the 3rd through 6th or 7th or whatever that are much more important. Okay. So let's see. These guys end up dying, and this is another window that you can go ahead and you can shove mid here. So I know your buffs are up. I know that you have 2 camps up, but map pressure is necessary for you to get vision to set up picks. So keep going back to that win condition. Shove mid, take this turret so that you have that map control. Because right now, Brand ends up pushing this, but then Vigar gets back in too soon, and he isn't able to get the full turret. Yep, see. So Vigar comes to defend this way. That's a lot of vision control and map control that they have by maintaining that, by keeping it up. Okay, so this is good. You're clearing quickly, and then Camille shows top. She starts shoving, and then disappears off the map, and so you're going up for the Scuttle. And then the play here, this is all good. You're staying alive until right here. So once she leaves that, what you need to do is look at the map. Chasing her isn't going to get you anything. You're not going to catch up with her. You don't have CC to keep her in place anyway. And so it's just not worth chasing. So then you look on the map at what's around you. You could do Scuttle. You can counter jungle, but there aren't any camps up. You could look mid, but he's probably not going to push that once he sees 2 guys in the lane. Or there's this wave top. So what I would do is come take this wave top. Rengar is all the way in base. I think he's AFK or something. And this is going to crash in the turret. So if you walk down here, you can get here and catch. It is 1 cannon, 7 casters, and 3 melees. So you get the Scuttle, and the Scuttle is worth 120 gold right now, 119. This wave down here, I calculated it out. It's worth 243. So that's an extra 123 gold that you would have gotten, and quite a bit more XP. And also, you could have come up and taken this anyway. So you missed out on 243 gold and a lot of XP that you need. But instead, it just dies to the turret and completely goes to waste. So always be alert for waves that are dying to turret and go catch those for the gold, for the XP. And laners, if they get mad at you, just mute them. Okay. Then let's see. We're coming up on another Drake here soon. Here's that Drake setup. You spent too much time in base, so be aware of what you want to buy like before you come back out on the map. Just already have it ready. Like at the beginning of the game, you should have two paths in mind. Think of like, okay, my tanky utility build versus my damage carry build. And so since you're 6 and 2, you could go for your damage carry build. Just already have it in mind of what you're going to do next. All right. So that's good. You got the pick on Vigar. You got the pick on Camille. And the Nocturne down here does not do anything. It is a 3v5. You have Rengar coming over. It's a 3v5. Don't chase him. Just take the Drake. Like, just, there's no reason to go after that. It's just a waste of time. And they should also be with you here. Yeah, there's no point. And so you lost like a few seconds trying to kind of chase him. And also setting up for this, if you do know that there's somebody back here, just hop over this wall and pop the blast cone so he can't use it. That's just a pretty easy thing. Especially Nocturne doesn't have any dashes, so he would have to use his R, but it's down, or he would have to flash. And you're Nidalee, so it's pretty short cooldown. Just hop over, pop that. It's just an extra step. Same with Baron. If you're taking it, hop over, pop this. I've seen you do it a few times in this game. That should just be pretty standard if you know that somebody's in the area. Okay, so we're coming up to a Baron setup, and this is a good pick on Nocturne walking back up. That's solid. And you could take the Baron right away. I know that you do start it up, but you need to ping Brand to come to this also. It's fine that he catches this wave, but then he needs to come straight up here because Brand has probably the most damage on your team. He has like a lot of percent max health damage in his kit, so his burn just destroys Baron. So you need to ping him to come over because he will help you take this much quicker. And also, just that time is really valuable because the Nocturne's coming back up. They have TP. They have a lot of potential to come and make your life hard. And if Ezreal is here, he could just be poking you over the wall and he could get a triple kill. And then they take the Baron. So try and get everybody that you can, especially if it's somebody like Brand. And then your buy here is a Rod of Ages. That is really suboptimal at this stage in the game because it'll take 10 minutes to ramp up in your Nidalee. So in 10 minutes, you're not even going to be a champion, really. You're just going to be a spear like poke machine. You don't really do much. So I would have gone with the Zanyas. They have 3 AD champions, so the Camille, the Nocturne, and the Ezreal. So I would just go for the stopwatch. It can also help you with Vigar stun. If you're stuck in his cage, you can use the Zanyas. So that would be a much better buy. And also you need to get a sweeper by this point in the game. So swap out your trinket for a sweeper. And then here in this situation, Drake isn't coming up for I don't know how many seconds for a little bit. And so instead of sitting behind like this, Nocturne already showed top during this play. 1 second. Nocturne shows up here. He's pushing the wave. And so with that, you can kind of be a little bit bold. So you can walk in and start getting vision control around this area, around this, a little bit more around here. That's a shallow where you can pop this. So use that, him showing top to your advantage and push in and take vision control. And if they miss position, you get a pick. And it's a really easy Drake. Instead, yeah, you do get one pick. So it's a little bit late on the vision control setup. This isn't like the deepest vision. It doesn't help. Doesn't help too much. Okay. And something that is a common theme is just the missed smites. So if you don't feel confident taking a smite fight, just peel off and look for an engage, look for a pick. You can start it up and bait it and things like that. All right, this is good. You clean these guys up eventually. and then you shove mid. All right, that's good. Converting map control into objectives. Brand almost goes down there. So the next note that I'm going to make is farming when your team is farming and being on the map when your team is on the map. So trying to sync up your timings with their timing. So right now you have 1,300 gold. That's quite a bit. Your guys, 2 of them just backed. So you should channel your back when your teammates are channeling their back so that if they're trying to make a play on the map, you're available for them. So right now you're farming, and they're kind of farming right now, so it's okay. But they're going to be looking for a fight here in a second. They're kind of positioning up, looking for a pick, and you're in your jungle right now. Which I guess that's okay right now because Ringar's down. It's actually another later example. Yeah, right here, they're looking for a pick. You're farming top. So if you're dedicated to farming, then ping them back and tell them not to go for this. But if they start going over for this fight, you need to be running over and grouping with your team. But you have 2,300 gold, so that's why you should have backed after the Drake fight, so that you could be on the map when this is happening and have spent your gold already. So they take this fight. This is kind of where the game ended, I think. Just you weren't able to translate the lead. They already had the soul, and their team is just too strong at this point. Okay, so that's pretty much all the points that I had for this game. So one of the things is a lot of the missed smites. So if you're not confident, pull off and fight. And then secondly, you weren't converting kills into map pressure a lot of the time. So if you see 4 people bot, like the Nocturne ulting bot, go take Rift Herald and use that to secure a lot of gold and a map advantage, which is more importantly. You could have taken the mid turret. You had several options to take that, but instead you decided to just farm. Or to recall. So that's super important, is to recognize your windows for creating map pressure. And then third was not setting up vision for your picks. So that's team comp specific. Your team needed to snowball early and get map control for picks. And to do that, you need to set up vision ahead of time. So that means getting to objectives early to set up vision so that you can set up your picks, because that's just how your team comp needed to operate. So those are my main points. Hopefully this is helpful for you, and you can start putting some of this stuff into practice.
This is the boy I am.